Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Technology. Today what I have with me is the Samsung Galaxy Young or the Samsung Galaxy Y phone. Now this is the most affordable Android phone by Samsung. We have already seen that the most affordable Android phone in Pakistan is the Huawei Ideos by Zong, but if you come into the Samsung range of mobiles, Samsung range of Android mobiles, this phone is the most affordable. This has a price tag of 14,000 rupees here in Pakistan, and this comes equipped with an 830 megahertz processor. That is pretty nice for a phone of this range, and this runs on Android Gingerbread, and it has a 2 megapixel camera, and it comes with a 2 GB memory card with it, and its internal memory is 180 MB or something close to this. So now I will go inside the software of this device and review it for you. So here I have it. Now I have been using it for a few days so that I can check its performance and everything. Now we can also have live papers on this device. As you can see, I am already using these live wallpapers. So when we long press the screen, it gives us the options to add widgets, shortcuts, folders, wallpapers, and anything like that. If you go into widgets, we have all these analog clock and thing like that. When we just select this, it comes onto the screen. Now we can move it anywhere we want, or we can just drag and drop it into the remove corner. So then we also have these wallpapers over here, which we have the gallery. We can select a wallpaper from there, or we can go into live wallpapers or a wallpaper gallery. Now in this device, live wallpapers do not come installed by the factory. You have to download it from the Android market. So I have downloaded some cool live wallpapers which we can easily change. So that's not a hassle because it has a good powered processor in it. And then we have these shortcuts over here, which we can just pick and arrange or move into the other screen, or we can just pick and drop them here so that we can arrange them in a good fashion. So that's about it. And then we have these whatever we want, and we can also add more screens to it. As I'll just show you that if we just pinch this like this, it will give us these different screens which we can just remove or make more screens here. So this is pretty handy feature. Now this comes with the Android Gingerbread, and yes, this does support multi-touch and touch with UI and touch sensitive controls, and it is a capacitive touchscreen, and this is a 3-inch capacitive touchscreen. Okay, so going further inside the phone, I would like to show you that here we have a shortcut power control panel. Here's the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, auto rotate, and the brightness of the screen. Now we can just drag it down, and here we'll also see that we have these small shortcut controls over here, which we can just press it and go into vibration, or we can just press it to bring back to sound, and also auto rotate. And here we have our date and time, and it is showing that the Wi-Fi signals here. So here is basically the calling app or the keypad we can get from here, and then we can dial like any number and just call it over here, and then we can just end the call like that. So you see, when a new message comes, it shows over here, so we can just clear it from here, and it also shows in the status bar over here. So this is basically the messaging app. It is showing that I have got a one new message, and here is basically the contacts, and then you have your menu. Now when we go inside the menu, it has this layout of the menu. It is not like Florio, which had a portrait type menu. This has a landscape type menu, which we can just add more things into it, and more screens will be added themselves. Okay, so now when we go into messaging, it is pretty simple. We just go into new message, and we have this QWERTY type keyboard here, which we can also rotate to something like this, and we have the full keyboard. Now this keyboard is very tactile. It has a very good response to it, and we can just type anything to it. I'll just show you how we can type over here. It is really very easy. I find it very easy to type. And okay, so it basically in this portrait mode and in the landscape mode, it is very easy to type with this keyboard here, and it gives a very nice and tactile response to it. I'll just focus it more so that you can see what is happening here. Okay, so you see this is in my hand, and I can just type hello over here. So you see this is pretty easy and very responsive. And then we can go out, and okay, now I would like to explain what all we get in the menu. Firstly, we have our clock over here. Now this is the generic Android type clock, which also tells about weather. And then we have our calendar over here. Now this is a simple calendar which just moves on like this. Okay, and then we have our gallery. Now because this supports the multi-touch, this does have pinch to zoom. I'll just show you how the pinch to zoom works. So basically here we have the picture, and we just pinch and zoom it, and it becomes small and large. And then we can also just jump to the next photo, like doing something like this. So this is pretty handy and pretty nice to use. I enjoy it while using it. And then next we have these memos over here. We can make different memos and just keep note of that. And here's the camera. Now we have a 2 megapixel camera on this device, so it does create some decent images, not very high end but decent images. So here I just clicked a photo, and when I click on the screen, it will give me the option to view it from here. So when I view it, just click there, it gives me the option to view it, delete it, or do anything I want. And then we have these different controls over here. Like if we just press this, we will get these shooting mode, and then we can have these different screens over here, scenes over here, sorry, scene modes that the camera provides for better images. And then here we have the brightness and the settings, and here you can have the video camera. And now this also comes with few settings, and it just records normal videos, not high-end videos. Okay, so next here we have the internet app. Now the browsing on this device is very easy. We can just go to any site we want. I'll just try and open my blog from here. Now I already have opened, so it is giving me the option to open this. So you see it is loading without any problem, and it scrolls very nicely. It shows all the pictures here. And now this also has the pinch to zoom option. I'll just show that to you. Now here's the text. I just pinch and zoom it, and it becomes larger. and easier to read. So the experience on the browser is very good. I really like it. The response is very good. And then we have the Android market over here. Now the Android market is, I guess, the best mobile market ever, because this has almost all the applications that you would ever need, and most of the very good applications are basically free applications. So that is something very good. Now we have all these applications here and we can download them whenever we want. Okay, so next we have the music app over here. Now the music app is pretty generic, nothing special in it, and this does has some good loudspeakers. And then we have our email over here. Now you can sync our Gmail account or any account over here, and it will just update us whenever we get a new email. And then we can have our other accounts also synced over here. Then we have the FM radio, which obviously works with the earphones attached. Then we have the settings. Now these settings are basically the generic settings of Android. Like we have these wireless network settings, then we have these call settings here, and the sound settings. Now one thing I like about this is that it gives us different volume for the ringtone, alarm, the notification, and everything like that. So that is pretty nice. Then we have our display settings over here. Okay, and then we have our location and security settings over here, and then we have all our applications, account, and privacy, and this shows the SD card and phone storage. Then we have our voice inputs, the date and time, and the about. I'll show you this, that we do get an option of software update, but right now I am not getting any software update, so I guess we are pretty much stuck to gingerbread over here. It does not give the option to upgrade it to ice cream sandwich Android. Okay, so next here it shows that we have the Android version of 2.3.6, which is basically gingerbread. So that's about the settings. Now I'll just go inside whatever we have over here. Now firstly we have our Google search over here, and I'll just hold it like this. Okay, so we have the Google app, this Google search over here. Then we have the social hub. Now we have the maps. Now these maps basically work on the GPS, and these are pretty nice and very easy to use. And these also have the pinch to zoom option over here. Okay, now these latitude, navigation, and places is related to the app of the maps here. Then we have our voice search over here, so we can just speak and get something to be searched over here. So this is pretty nice. Messaging. So you see, it has actually got whatever I was saying, and it starts searching that on the Google database. So this is pretty cool. Okay, so guys, here we have the news and weather updates over here. So this connects to the Wi-Fi and then downloads. So this is showing the weather over here, the top stories, whatever is happening in Pakistan, about sports, entertainment. And these My Files has all the things that we have installed. Then we have the Samsung apps over here, then the task manager. Now the task manager basically tells us whatever is running. So you see, these are the active applications, then whatever package data we have here, and the RAM, how much it is used, and we can clear the memory from here. Then we have the summary, of how much storage is used in the mobile and the external SD card.